Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows and movies and anime, currently featuring Steven Universe, Star vs. the Force of Evil, and Samurai Jack and Adventure Time, among others. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Sam Quattro.
Hello.
And Steve Zeck.
Hi.
Today, Sam, Steve, and I will be discussing parts 3 and 4 of Adventure Time Elements miniseries that aired tonight on Cartoon Network. Winter Light and Cloudy. I think less exciting names than the first two, but, you know, we'll discuss. And we covered the first two parts of Elements last night in the podcast. You can check that out at overlyanimated.com. We'll be taking you all the way through Elements. Or you can search for us on Overly Animated Podcast on iTunes or any podcatcher. Make sure to subscribe to us to see the rest of our Elements coverage. That's all been very exciting. So, we were very high in the first two episodes of Elements yesterday. Here we are with Winter Light and Cloudy. Sam, what's your general reaction to these two episodes?
I really like Winter Light because, you know, the ice people, as they stand, I can relate.
You can relate to that? Wait, okay. Why can you relate to the ice people?
Because they're sad.
I mean, they're like frozen. Are they sad?
Yeah, they are. They're like I don't know, they're you heard the episode. There are a lot of depressing quotes.
Okay, well, we can go
through that. Choose Goose was all like, you know, it doesn't matter if you have friends because everything will end. And I'm like,
aww.
Same.
Same, relatable.
Hashtag relatable.
Was it a Choose Goose? Was that the ice name for Choose Goose? Like, as in, like, sneeze because it's cold? Yeah.
Because it's cold.
Yeah, that was, like, subtle in a way that it almost didn't sound like it was different from his name, but I did catch that. Yeah, continue. What else about it?
I don't know. I really like that song that they played, and I'm still trying to find out what it is.
Yeah.
Can't. So yeah, I really like that one. Cloudy was, you know, it was that one episode in the miniseries where we just gotta breathe, I guess, and like hang out and figure out where we are with characters and blah blah blah.
Sam, unenthused by the character work in Cloudy.
I mean, it's not that I'm enthused. It's just like, you know, it's a necessary episode to have. It's just like, yeah. I don't have too many feelings.
Okay, we will discuss if overall up or down from the first two episodes.
I would say up after Winter Light, down after Cloudy.
Okay, very interesting. Steve, what are your overall impressions of Winter Light and Cloudy?
Oh, I thought it was about the same as the first two parts. I do think this is pretty clear. This is going to be like the final end for Patience. One way or another, either is setting up redemption or her destruction. Because I think it's time to wrap her story up.
Steve getting on the hashtag Patience redemption arc early, calling it. He's staking his claim right now. Patience redemption.
I didn't say that. I said it's going to be the end of her one way or the other, but I'm hoping that'd be great.
Are you a Patience fan, Steve?
Oh, I don't think her design is great. She's a very interesting character. This character's not overly evil. I kind of at least understand where she's coming from. At least sympathize a little bit with her, even though she's doing these horrible things to characters we love. You know what it is. You understand, right?
Yeah. There's not. Well, we'll get it more into Patience. Anyway, overall, Winter Light. Did you like that episode?
Yeah, it was fine. It was good. I know. I thought. What was the one part 3? Cloudy. Carol. She looked like a Lego figure to me. Am I going?
In Winter Light, yeah. I think so. That ice people look a little like Legos. What do you think of that, Sam?
I guess.
Okay, this is good. Hard-hitting analysis.
No opinion.
Yeah, no opinion. What about the character work in Cloudy? Did you enjoy that, Steve?
Oh yeah, I enjoyed it. I especially loved the foxes. I thought first it looked like just be one singing fox, and then you saw a whole band, and it just turned into a whole thing. And it's very interesting, and I love how like I said, I felt bad. I felt bad for Patience. The fact she was all by herself. No one came to her little party, and also I thought I was like kind of creepy what happened to Betty at the end with her in the ice
again from Winterlight. Yeah, there's definitely a lot more stuff.
Are we talking about one episode? I'm sorry. Are we talking? We'll move on to part 4.
Yeah, no. Did you like Cloudy, the part 4?
Oh yeah, I loved it. I thought the haircut gag was funny. How like when Finn was opening up, when he was about to say something important, and Jake was so into the game, he just cut him off. And I do think Finn, valid point. Does he really want the kingdom to fall apart without him, just to, back in his mind, boost his ego a bit?
Yeah, the Finn angst stuff was pretty deep and dark. Definitely going to get into what all that was about.
And I do have one thing. Are we going to talk about the Ice King in this episode? I just have some thoughts on his as a character. Are we going to talk about that?
Yeah, we'll definitely get into Ice King. Ice King's still a big part of this, but we can do that in a little bit, I guess. Yeah, I think I enjoyed Winterlight. Nothing super stood out to me from that. I like Constance in it, and there's a lot here. I don't think it was quite as good as part 2 or potentially even part 1, but I did enjoy Winterlight. Cloudy, I question why we needed Cloudy. I mean, we don't really know until we finish the series, but I wasn't super into the character stuff in this episode. I thought that it was fine. But it was, it might seem necessary in the larger scheme of the miniseries. And I did like some of the stuff that we were getting into with Finn. Even though I'm not sure exactly where it came from. But yeah. And I definitely have questions about where we're going at the end, so we can get into all that. Okay, we got started getting specifics already. I did forget to talk about the new intro last time. Another miniseries, another variant on the Adventure Time intro. Sam, thoughts on the new intro?
Yeah. I'm like it is what it is. I don't know. That's an intro. Definitely, Hayden Welch sings. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it's there's a lot in it. We would need to have a separate podcast, I think, dissecting.
No, we don't.
No, we don't need to do that. Steve, fan of the new intro?
I'm with Sam. It was okay. It was all right. Nothing will beat the Stakes opening. That's like my favorite of these special openings. So it's just it's kind of like they set the bar so high that it's just it's just lukewarm no matter what they do.
Yeah, rank the 3 intros, Steve. Stakes, Islands, and Elements.
Well, Stakes is number 1 for sure. I haven't seen the Island one in a while, but I think it's number 2, and this is number 3. They're all good. I don't hate any of them. Okay.
Do you have thoughts on those rankings, Sam?
No opinion.
No, I don't remember the other ones, so I can't.
I mean, I remember Stakes was like, the base. And the other one, didn't Susan sing it? I don't know.
We're all playing off of the Stakes intro, yeah.
Well, the first one had Marceline singing that. I'm just saying, you can't top that.
Yeah, can't top Marceline. This is true. Marshmalline. Do we have to call them by their new Elements names?
No, we don't.
While this series is still going on. We don't? Why not?
Because the old names have been in place for like how many years now? We don't need the...
I'm going to attempt to call them by their Elements names. I'll probably...
Okay, well... Okay. All right, you do you.
Yeah, I mean, there's not that many that we would come up in discussion, I think. Like, the most of our main characters are still themselves. Like, PB's still BB. She can get a new name. Yeah, so, other things in Winterlight, things at all. So they need to infiltrate the Ice King's, HQ, and like, we have a Rattle Balls reference in here, which I was surprised by. Finn's like, what would Rattle Balls do? To break into the thing. Seems random to me, although the series has been filled with random references from all of Adventure Time so far, is what I'd say to that. Did you like the Rattle Balls, Sam?
Dude, I don't know. I remember who Rattaballs is, but I just didn't really feel like he was like an important figure.
Yeah,
to Finn's life, so that Finn would I
don't get that part why Finn would immediately think of Rattaballs. Do you have thoughts on that, Steve?
Not really. I don't vaguely remember Rattleball, so move on for me.
No. You guys are
okay.
Rattleballs. I will defend Rattleballs here. Rattleballs is a legendary Adventure Time side character. I'm a big fan.
Okay, you do that.
Yeah, I'm defending Rattleballs' honor, as he would need it to happen. Anyway, I think our best Ice King gag of the episode, or of either episode, is when the Ice King makes them like the sweaters, the friend sweaters, and then Finn puts on the Finn sweater, and they have this extended Ice King scream. Like, yeah.
Oh, wait. Well, speaking of screams, how about the ending of was it Cloudy? No, of Storm. The third one when Betty just gave this. She said, "They call me crazy," and then she had this crazy laugh. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, you enjoyed that? Yeah.
Oh yes, Betty's starting to become one of my favorites.
Oh, nice. Yeah. We'll hopefully get a lot more Betty here. That, I guess that was foreshadowing Betty being, being evil. The second half of the series, the fourth episode didn't really get into that. So I wonder if that's going to be a thing. We can come back to that. But yeah, the, Ice King just freaking out at, the two Finns, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, the tap one's fake. I get it." Yeah. So it's a kind of like a classic gag of and him just not understanding something basic and then thinking he understands it and misinterpreting. But I enjoyed that. Again, I think Ice King's been very strong here in this miniseries, and this continued that. Carol is back. Sam,
mm-hmm.
Did you remember Carol?
I did remember Carol. She's voiced by Cameron Esposito.
Yeah, who is that?
Well, she's gay.
Okay.
So you know, she's in my network.
She's a comedian. Yeah.
She's a comedian. Yeah.
So,
and actually, if you ever seen like a picture of Cameron, like you'd notice that Carol is kind of modeled after her a little bit. Like they have the same hair.
Okay. Interesting. Did you like Ice Carol?
She's a little bit mean, a little bit abrasive.
She betrays them, but she likes to draw elves. What do you think of that?
Like it's just what she does.
Yeah, it's what she does. Do you like to draw elves, Sam?
No, I don't.
Steve, do you like to draw elves?
I can't. I'm not good at drawing, so I guess no.
Did you remember Carol, Steve, and did you enjoy her in this episode?
I remember Carol, but it took me a while for it to sink in my head because now I remember her. That's what it was when I first saw her in this episode, and I totally was not surprised she betrayed them. It's kind of like Ruby in that latest episode of Steven Universe. I kind of saw it coming.
No, I was team surprised on that one. That was much more surprising.
Dylan is a simple man.
Yeah, that was much of this. I mean, I didn't see this coming either, but I didn't care that Carol betrayed them.
Carol just has a good thing going.
Yeah, she's drawing elves.
She's trying to like live her life, and she doesn't want these guys just like getting in the way of like her new ice life.
Yeah, I feel
you're too trusting, Dylan.
Too trusting of these. I don't know if I trusted Carol. I didn't really feel one way or the other. Yeah, no, I didn't really remember Carol. Once they said she was a clad person, I vaguely remember Finn interacting with a clad person, so I guess that's Carol. But for me, Sir Rattleballs was much more memorable than Carol.
Yeah.
Is what I'd say.
Have fun with that.
Yeah. Tell me in the comments who was more memorable to you. Carol or Rattleballs? The answer is Rattleballs. Okay, continuing. Hashtag either one. Yeah, that was a good. I like the dry elves gag. That was a good line there. The Choose Goose. We talked about that. Choose Goose would not be on my list of characters, high on a list of characters that I wouldn't want to see elementified. But I thought that was an interesting choice, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's a pun. So here's the big plot point of the episode. Patience is like not happy with the result of her spell. She wanted to hang out with the other elementals and them to embrace their elementalness birthright. But
God, if you just wanted to do that, why'd you have to go and like?
Yeah.
make it a whole thing.
Yeah, but instead they went off back to their kingdoms in their elementified form, I guess is what they're saying. Do you question Patience's tactics, Sam?
It's not that I question her tactics. I mean, I've done crazier things in terms of trying to get my friends to hang out with me.
Have you then turning the entire world into a sectioned off element? Okay.
Yeah, you just didn't notice.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, you know, like I can like I understand like her. She doesn't really regret it, does she? I don't know. I can understand how like she can be bummed out about this. Like all she wanted ever since we first saw her, she just wanted her elemental friends to like be like her elemental friends, and she wanted to like have that in common with them. But everyone was like, no. And then she finally gets to like mind control them, and now they're like, oh, we're too good for you, Patience. And now she's like, everything dies.
Everything dies.
Yeah.
So you think this is like depressed Patience now?
Yeah. Well, ice is depressing, so yes.
I guess that's what this episode is getting at.
At least there's shrimp, you know.
Yeah, Ice King freaking out over the shrimp. Yeah, that was the thing too. Steve, thoughts on Patience's motives and how those shaped her actions here?
But it's a motive I'm used to seeing in shows, like magical girls shows or just shows like My Little Pony. The villains, like deep down, they just wanted friends, and you know. You can sympathize with them, but you still does not excuse what they do. Though, in Patience's case, though, I'm thinking if she really wants a friend, perhaps Finn's mom could have been her friend, because there seemed to be some history there. And
interesting. Yeah, are we going to bring Finn's mom outside of the island series? I would assume not. I think she's dead, right? Isn't that what happened?
Dead.
Is she still uploaded or no? Or did they...
I mean, yeah, but like, she's still dead.
Did we unplug the upload? I don't even remember. But, yeah, that seems like that won't happen. But yeah, Patience needs to get friends who actually want to be her friends rather than,
Well, doesn't everybody, like, isn't that just like a good moral for life? Get friends who like you.
Patience just needs to be more patient.
Oh man, there you go.
Oh no, she did wait for like a couple thousand years there.
It wasn't really intense. Was it intense? She was like frozen though, right, or something?
Yeah, I thought that frozen was intentional because she was like, I'll just wait around till the next.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she did it to herself. Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to get more into these motives in future episodes. I don't really understand what she's getting at. It's going to be unsatisfying if she's the thing we're trying to overcome here and she doesn't even care about the way the world is right now anyway. So,
I think that would be interesting.
I mean, sure, but there's no real antagonistic
apathetic villain.
Yeah, there's no real antagonistic force other than just the way it is. You just need to overcome.
Doesn't that feel a lot like Blue Diamond in a way?
Yeah, I think Patience isn't like regretful of, I don't know. We don't need to get into Blue Diamond too much, but yeah, I don't know if Blue Diamond's ever been an antagonistic force here. Like we got Yellow pretty fast in that week. So I think it's going to be interesting to see where we go with her. Another thing in this episode, we had, Icified Jake briefly. I thought this didn't go anywhere, and I didn't really understand the point of that. Agree, Sam?
I don't know. I think that's saying that.
What is it, a metaphor for like?
No, I think it's just more saying that Jake is susceptible to.
Yeah, I think we've gotten that
to like emotions and like.
Yeah, I got that from the series.
He doesn't really have too much of a strong force of will. He'll like go along with whatever. Even though like he didn't really choose he just got an icicle on his head. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. Then we get Betty back, and Finn brings out the Enchiridion from Farm World, which was a recent finale, I guess. And
was that a recent? I thought that was a couple years ago.
A finale. I don't know if it was recent. Yeah.
Like last time I went to Farm World was like in 2000. I feel like 14 or 13 or something.
I don't know if it was that long. You can fact check this, but Steve, what do you think of bringing out the Farm World Enchiridion?
Well, I think that's a nice little blast from the past. I'm kind of neutral on that. You know, I like just to see where it goes before I really have my opinion on that. But I just love, though, since the series is just about to end, you bring back as much stuff from the past as possible, because I'm hoping this is the plan. This is like, they're ready to end this. This is not, Cartoon Network pushing them to rush this ending.
Yeah, it seems like they're going out on their own terms. I think Cartoon Network probably pushed them a little. I think they're done with the Adventure Time era, and we're in the Teen Titans Go era, unfortunately. But
oh man,
I mean, really, these are the two emblematic shows of their respective Cartoon Network eras. I would say.
Well, isn't the Teen Titans Go era wasn't that just like 2007 or 2008 all over again?
And by the way, Teen Titans Go does predate Steven Universe technically.
Is it really?
Yeah.
We will look. Okay, that's a larger discussion. Yeah, no, this episode in particular, this part 3, they're just bringing back as much stuff as they can. We got the Enchiridion, we got Rattleball's reference, we got Carol, Choose Goose. Like, it's just let's bring back as much stuff as we can.
Laying it on thick.
If they really want to be gutsy, I wonder if they could bring back Abraham Lincoln. If y'all remember from the pilot that's on another network.
Do not remember that. Maybe we'll bring that back though. We also have another season to go. We're still in the second to last season. This might be a long farewell tour for Adventure Time. Although I think the last season is abbreviated. But
haven't you ever seen anybody go on farewell tours? Those are years.
Yeah, this is a year-long farewell tour for Adventure Time, starting with this. Elements.
Takes a while to tour the world, Dylan.
A while to tour. Ooh, yep. We're in Nice Kingdom this episode. Candy Kingdom before. Will we go to the other two in this miniseries? We'll see.
I would assume so.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it for that episode. Betty uses then Enchiridion to interpret something at the end of 4, but part 4 is mostly about Finn and Jake breaking off on a cloud and talking about their feelings. That's what it's about. I think the most interesting thing from here is Finn's line about how he's kind of psychoanalyzing himself and says, as Steve mentioned before, that maybe he secretly wanted to mess up Ooh to prove that it was better with him there and not with his replacement Fern. What were your thoughts on this from Finn, Sam?
I thought it was kind of dumb.
You thought it was dumb?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I felt like the going off on the islands little excursion, I thought he knew that was a temporary thing. It wasn't I don't know, it was hey, I'm going to the store, I'll be back sort of thing, you don't put all your hopes into one aspect of how reality is going to go when you're just off on a little trip. But then again, that's not how it turned out. But I don't know. I
Did you relate it all to Finn's
16
emotions?
or 17 years old. Who knows what he thinks?
You don't. Well, he said how he thinks, probably. But you can't relate to the 16-year-old boy thoughts. Is that what you're saying?
No.
They're not relatable to you. This is not your target demographic. No. Steve, what did you think of this potential Finn self-psychoanalyzing here?
Oh, I thought it was very brilliant because I really did not think of it. What popped in my head that he was he wanted everything to fall with him gone, and then when he said that, I'm yeah, it does make sense. Because sometimes, no matter how much you wish people well, if you take a day off from work, part of you is hoping them to say, "Thank God you're back. The place was a mess without you." I know sometimes I feel that way.
Yeah, that's a good way of phrasing it.
My coworkers literally said that to me today.
So, how can't you relate to Finn then? Come on.
I don't know, because I feel I would like to think I'm more realistic than that, and trust that a whole place can run without one person in it.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
but evidently not.
I think it works with Finn's character. I think Finn's character's always had kind of a self-aggrandizing streak to him. And I think this is I think he's a little onto something with his. I don't think this is true. I think this is him being self-conscious and projecting his doubts onto himself. So I don't know if this is his actual motivations for his current freaking out in this episode, but I think that he's potentially onto aspects of his character, which is why they wrote it into this, I would say. I think this was, I guess, the deepest plot thing that we had in these episodes. So I enjoyed it. Jake also had motivations, but I don't they were like typical Jake absurd and then real practical one, and that my family's been elementified, which is true. So probably we would assume so. So I don't know about that. The other main thing is the haircut therapy gag. You said you were a fan of this, Steve.
Yeah, I thought it was very informative, very good character development. It pushed the story forward, but also is funny. And some shows can't really do both at the same time. They gotta sacrifice humor for story or story for humor. But Adventure Time is a show that can do that. That's one thing I've always loved about this show.
Yeah, it's a good point. This was a funny gag inside of this pretty deep character episode. Any thoughts on the haircut therapy, Sam?
I don't know. I haven't had my hair cut by an actual person in many years. And even when I did, I didn't like to talk to them. I was just like, I'm only here because nature just makes my hair grow. And I don't really want to talk to you. And I'm not relatable, is what I'm trying to get at.
I actually found this very relatable. Like,
you like to talk to your stylist?
No, I don't. No, I absolutely don't talk. No. Avoid talking to people. Yes, but this is this is I didn't like it at first. I thought it was like, oh, this is kind of stupid. But then they really committed to it and they acted out the entire scene at the end. And they got into taper versus fade, and I found that very relatable. I get mine tapered, so this was this is a very relatable haircut gag here. And
I always tried to get mine tapered, but they never did it. So
that's sad. Yeah, but
I invested in a pair of clippers.
Yeah, invested in I guess that's what they're kind of doing, self-cutting, but they're role playing the haircut. I don't know if that counts as the self haircutting. But yeah, and then we get Cloudy, who is a Skylard. Thoughts on Cloudy, Sam?
It's a very interesting way to draw people in just a toilet.
Is that the weirdest
I wonder
siren
if it's like a
ever?
shape-shifting sort of thing. Like he can just do whatever the person he's trying, like the prey, wants at that time, or if he's just.
Or is it just a toilet?
Yeah.
I guess it's a good thing to permanently have in the clouds when there's no toilets.
Yeah, but it's like a mechanism to draw prey, though.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Do you remember that time in the SpongeBob movie, the first one, when
No, definitely. My answer will be no matter what you say, but continue.
Okay, never mind. Basically, it's a very similar thing happens where this like monster is like posing as like an old woman at an ice cream stand, and SpongeBob and Patrick fall for it, and they basically almost get eaten. But yeah, that doesn't happen.
There's we're talking too many SpongeBob references now in these podcasts in a row. Steve, Cloudy, thoughts?
Oh, so basically it's like a toilet that's a siren, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is here. I wonder, though, if the toilet was specifically just for Jake because that's what he wanted, or would have been something else if he desired something else. Is it specifically a toilet? Can it change shapes?
Yeah, that's what Sam was getting into. Where we see no evidence that this was a psychological type of thing, that it changed depending on the person.
Psychological toilet.
Yeah, although it could have been a psychological toilet. That's my new pilot, psychological toilet.
That's what they call me.
I'm pitching that to Cartoon Network now.
Yeah. Have me voice the main character.
Is the main character a toilet or someone who goes on the psychological toilet? Both? No, that's too much. Okay. Anyway, yeah, it
would be like an Uncle Grandpa situation.
No.
Yeah.
No, I guess I don't know. And if we want Cartoon Network to air it, then we need to make it like chibi-eyed and inconsequential. That's the new. Okay. I'm playing to the masses with these takedowns here of their new airing schedule. That was the Skylard. That was a thing, and then they go back, and then Betty's done with Enchiridion, so I guess it was just a plot thing for the episodes, and says they need to get the counter spell. They need 3 elemental crowns. So I guess that's what we're doing now. My question is, why not Candy, which I don't think was shown as being one of the crowns.
No, Candy was there.
I thought it was slime, fire, and ice.
No, Candy was there.
You think it was not ice and they already had ice? Is that it? Because they have Ice King? Okay.
Candy was there.
Okay, Sam is decreed. Okay, so they need 3. So why does the book show 3? Is I guess my question.
I have no clue.
Because I understand that they already have Ice Kings, but like, why do they only need 3, or do they need 4 and they've already have one? So, and yeah, I guess this is a take on
a logic plot thing that I should be more annoyed by.
Yeah, I guess we're getting more into Ice King's crown potentially. Steve, do you think so?
I think so. Possibly. I don't know about you guys, but I don't fully trust Betty. I just have a feeling he's going to do one last little act.
Oh yeah, you know, maybe it was that maniacal laugh in the end of episode 3. Maybe that, maybe it was that. I mean, I agree. I think this series is telling us not to trust Betty. Yeah.
Yeah. Every time though you see her, she always looks like okay, she's getting a little better, and then always one little thing she does that makes me like, I don't know about her.
No, I would trust Betty. I definitely like Betty. But
Me too.
I think we're being telegraphed not to trust her at the moment. I also think she's been pretty, like, I guess, unhinged in the past. So, who knows what Betty will do here. I definitely think the, surface A interpretation of what's to come next would be, Constance, isn't the real, villain of the
Patience.
Yeah. I might have said Constance before. I don't know. We also get Patience's last name. I think we must have had that before.
Saint Pym.
Yeah. I guess
that's the creator, right?
What, Steve?
The creator of Adventure Time, I think, has a name like that.
I don't know. Well, Pendleton.
Yes, could it be a reference to that?
I don't know. Maybe. I guess that's kind of similar. But yeah, so I think the surface A interpretation of what's to come next is not the main villain. I think Betty would become like super powerful or something, and now we need to take Betty down or something. Like clearly we're telegraphing something similar to that at the end of episode 3, so we will see what happens. I'm interested to know, because I think that having kind of the downtime episode as episode 4 was pretty non-traditional. So we kind of had a lot of plot stuff in episodes 1 and 2. So I think we're headed for somewhat of a non-traditional plot, second half of Elements. I didn't particularly understand why we need Cloudy, or the slowdown episode right now. We'll see if it comes into play in the second half of Elements. Overall, Sam, parts 3 and 4.
Part 3, thumbs up. Part 4, middle thumb.
Middle thumb. Steve, overall 3 and 4.
Oh, well, part 3 I give a 9 out of 10, or thumbs up. Part 4, 7 out of 10. Whatever, if you want to call it thumbs up or half a thumb up. I don't know how you rate things here.
Yeah. We can use the thumbs up scale for this. Yes, that's our new official.
I don't know.
Scale.
Sam likes the thumbs up scale. I've been like a slave to Dylan's scale for far too long.
Nope, it's the official scale.
Yep. Nope.
Thumbs can be the official element scale. I'm less high on part 3 than you guys. I thought it was good, but not great. And I thought Cloudy was mediocre, but potential to be better. I
have more thumbs than I do stars and numbers.
You have more thumbs than you do stars. You have 2 thumbs, correct?
Yes.
How many stars do you have?
0, because they are giant masses in space, and I do not own any.
Okay, fair. How many numbers do you have?
Numbers are a concept, and you cannot physically own a number.
No, disagree. I think you have 1 number because your last name is a number.
Okay.
So you
I still have more thumbs than that.
It's okay. So you're right. We've concluded you're right. Okay. There you go. So, that's why we're using the thumb scale in conclusion. Yeah. So yeah, check back with us for, the second half of Elements. We're getting to
wait.
Yes, Steve.
I just want to say something about Simon or Ice King. Over the last arc, for me, when I see him on screen, I see people like trying to get him to remember stuff. It just feels like it's like this show is like doing a reference to Alzheimer's. And anyone see that?
I think you could argue the whole Ice King Simon thing is an Alzheimer's metaphor. Yeah, I don't think that's specific to Elements though.
No, I'm talking about overall. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good call. I think, but this is mental deterioration or Alzheimer's. I think you could definitely say that that's what the whole Ice King Simon thing is about. And I don't know if it's necessarily any sort of specific metaphor, but clearly that's an interpretation. Yeah. So yeah, I've been very, very happy with Ice King continued in these 2 episodes. I think this is potentially the height of Ice King, although it's hard to beat, the Simon, I think, Rebecca Sugar episode. So we'll see. Yeah, check with us for last parts of Elements, overlyanimated.com. Subscribe to us there. You can consider supporting us at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thank you very much to all of our current patrons, especially our patron of the podcast, Phonishin, aka Fusion. Thank you very much, Phonishin, for your support as always. And thanks as always to our patron executive producers, John, Ryan, Steve, and Alex. We'll be back tomorrow with parts 5 and 6. Last thoughts, guys.
Oh, just
Eh.
No. More excitement about parts 5 and 6. Slime Central and Happy Warrior. I don't know what that means. I guess we are going to slime. So prophecy fulfilled already. So yeah, we will see you for slime next time. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you then. Bye.
bye.
Bye.